All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on something I heard a brother just say on one of the videos I was watching, and he made the point about how Nebuchadnezzar had was using pretty much witchcraft, man. So if people was doing it back then, how comes people don't believe that that kind of stuff is taking place now? And it is, right? But I'm going to read this. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And that takes place everywhere, man. Now, let me go to this, because it's taking place now too, right? Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So the people that this is talking about are using enchantments and sorcery, which is witchcraft, right? And the people it's talking about in this particular chapter is the daughter of Babylon, which is the Edomites, all right? That's another name for Edom. Right now, let me prove that. Let me prove that, man. Psalm 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be, the reward of thee, as thou hast served us. Right? And what does Babylon mean? It means confusion, and these Edomites are the rulers right now. They're the people that are in charge of the new Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is America. And any kind of weird acts that take place in the world can take place and will take place in America. The main place for where people do money laundering is America, all of that, man. But a lot of people don't understand this, right? A lot of people want to try and think that it will be somewhere else, some third world country. No, it's America, man. That's the biggest scumbag place on the earth now. Let me go back to this. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 12 again. Let me read this. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou mayest be able, if so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of their counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So the daughter of Babylon, the Edomites, they're going to be doing that kind of stuff, right? They're going to be doing that witchcraft right now. I'm going to be having secret councils about the Israelites right now. I'm not exactly remembering fresh exactly in my mind where it was that it speaks about Nebuchadnezzar having these kind of people, but I'm gonna try and find it. Give me, bear with me. Baba Kashar, bear with me. I'm gonna try and find it. Thawadi Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Found it. Just a quick one. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 1. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, wherein his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, and the astrologers, and the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans, who the Chaldeans was like the wisest people among their society, man, for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. So they had them too. Now, where else had them, right? Where else had their own particular people that did things that was out of the norm, right? But they used the left-hand side to do their things that was out of the norm. Whereas we use the right-hand side to do our things that are out of the norm, right? And that's the only way how you can be justified by doing things out of the norm is by using the right-hand side. If you use the left-hand side, well, you're a witch, you know. So you can only use the right-hand side. You can pray to Yahweh, man. You can pray to Yahweh. You can put up a prayer against your enemy as well, which would be a curse if you do that. Do it like that. Now let me find the one where Pharaoh had. Is it 5? Is it 5? I'm sure if I just search magician, it will come up with it real quick anyway. Sometimes you forget where certain key points are in the scriptures, man. Here we go. Here we go. Exodus chapter 7 and verse 22. And the magicians of Egypt did also with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them, as Yahweh had said. So Pharaoh had magicians as well, man. And all of these different societies have always had some kind of people that was into some other things, man. Now, even the Persians had it too. Even the Persians had it, man. But people want to try and make out like right now, Esau's just so civilized with a suit and tie on all the time. That's part of his enchantments, man. There's enchantments regarding suit and ties. But people don't even understand that. But if you're in university and you wear tracksuit bottoms all the time, right? People will be looking at you sideways. But if you was in university and you're wearing a blazer and you dress like a lecturer, right? You're wearing a blazer and jeans with pointy toe shoes that hurt you and crush up your toe anyway, right? They'll be treating you like you're flipping Denzel Washington around here, man. You know? But if you just wear tracksuit bottoms or just wear comfortable clothes, then people try and treat you differently, man, because this world's fake, man. Right? This world's fake, bro. And every single man out there knows that this world's fake. Because there'll be a time when they'll have been dressed not bummy, but their clothes ain't really no branded stuff or nothing like that. And then there might be another time in their life where they've been dressed completely different, and they would have saw some of the same people or people that come under that same spirit, and then they get treated differently when they go into the same stores that they went into before, man. Because this world is fake, man, and it doesn't try and treat everybody equal like it tries to claim it does. It treats people based on what they think people have, man, but then lies about it and tries to say that it does otherwise. Now let me find this. You see, this is Daniel chapter 5. Daniel chapter 5 and verse 1. Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords. Salakia, this isn't the Persian. This is another thingy. Salakia, Belshazzar is not a Persian, but I'm just gonna show this point that he came in the same spirit too, man. Daniel chapter 5 and verse 1. Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. Now I'm gonna jump down. Verse 7. The king cried to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have chains of gold about his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. So even back then, man, they had it too. You see what I mean? And there's probably more places than this that I can find if I was to carry on searching, right? If I was to start using Google and search, there'd be more places than this that I could find by where people are doing this kind of stuff, man. I'm sure of that. Because witchcraft and all of these types of things have always been used by the elites of the heathen nations, man, every single time. And Edom's no different. He's just so low level that he just tries and such about high level confusion that he's trying to bring in every single one of all these people that failed. So he thinks, oh, the reason they failed is because they only use one of these, so I'm going to use all of them. That's what he thinks in his arrogance, man. He thinks in his arrogance that because they only use that one, right? They use that one and they use that one, that, oh, they can try and escape. And that's why, man, America, let me get that. That's why America, let's get it. That's why the place that it's talking about, man, the place that it's talking about when it says read it, Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8, and their dead body shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And that place is America, man. America has all the similar same style of astrology and all that kind of stuff, man. The astrologers and uses all the same kind of ancient stuff that they used, right? They understand that, man. The people that are in charge, they understand all of these ancient things, man. They've searched it out. They've did the archaeology. That's why they're always doing these archaeological searches, man. because they want to search out every single place that has ever had Israelites in captivity, right? And they want to search out any society that anyhow had contact with the Israelites, and they want to find out what caused the Israelites to either fall or what was able to keep the Israelites in captivity. And that's why they love Egypt, man, because Egypt had the Israelites in captivity for 400 years. But what these buffoons don't understand, what these idiots don't understand in their arrogance and their stupidity, what they don't understand is that the Egyptians having the Israelites in captivity for 400 years wasn't because of their ancient things that they was doing. It was because that was the time frame that Yahweh had set for them to be in there. Genesis chapter 15 and verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and thou shalt serve them and shalt afflict them 400 years. So that time frame was already set, that the Israelites, once that captivity started for them in the land of Egypt, which it didn't start straight away because Joseph wasn't in captivity. The life was peaceful while Joseph remained alive, and then things changed after his death. But once that captivity started under the particular Pharaoh of the time, then that 400-year timer was continually ongoing and was set, man. That timer began as soon as they started the captivity of the Israelites, man. And it was set at 400 years. Just like in right now, in this time right now, there's a set time that we're going to remain in captivity. And we don't know what that time is. But Yahweh knows, though. And when it's time for us to leave, we're going to leave. And it doesn't matter how many different things they're going to try and do, how much different ancient spells and all that they want to try and do. The time set, and none of that stuff really worked. Anyway, it was Yahweh that had us bound, not them. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 13. Verse 12. Stand thou with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou mayest be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So if they doubt that, well, they're going to be able to test that out, man. They're going to be able to test it out and see. Because Pharaoh tried, right? When Moses came to Pharaoh, Moses did things, and the Pharaoh's magician was able to copy it to a certain degree. But Yahweh's power was always greater. That's why the serpent stick ate the other two serpents. You see? And that's why eventually it came to a point where Pharaoh's magician said something along the lines of, this is the finger of God. We can't copy this. They said it pretty much, this is the finger of God. Where can I find that? I want to find that, man. They said it's the finger of God. Let me search for the word finger. Here we go. There was a point where they realized, man, this is something that's a bit too high for us to even handle this, right? They couldn't do that. This is Exodus chapter 8 and verse 18. And the magicians did also with their enchantments to bring forth lice, and the Egyptians did also with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not, right? So they couldn't do it, man. They couldn't replicate that. They didn't have the power. The things that they was calling upon to try and make that happen didn't work, man. So they couldn't, but they could not. So there was lice upon man and upon beast. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of God. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yahweh had said. So Yahweh hardened his mind so that even though they was telling him, listen, man, this is God, this is the creator of heaven and earth that's did this. I don't know what this power is coming from. This is like something that we ain't even had dealt with before. Yahweh hardened his heart, and he's like, nah, man, I ain't letting them Israelites go nowhere. They're mine. That's what he was saying. They're mine. These are my Israelites. And that's how Esau thinks, man. And that's why these people talk in this arrogant way about us, because they think, man, these people ain't Yahweh's. They think this is mine. These people are mine, man. That's what they think. And Ezekiel 37 goes into that, man, but it's also talking about the land. But the same way how they think about the land of Israel is how they think about the people, man. Let me read this. Is it 36 or is it 37? Where it says, where's these two? Let me see if I can, where is that, man? Is it 35? Yeah. Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10. Because thou hast said these two nations and these two I made a mistake just a minute ago when I said Ezekiel 36 goes into how the heathen are boasting about having control over the land. But this one I'm reading now is going into how more so how they boast about having control over the people, man. Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it. Whereas Yahweh was there, so they basically are thinking the same way as Pharaoh, right? Because Pharaoh didn't want to let the Israelites go because they worked for him and they built him up. They was building him up. Every single time they was working, they was building him up, right? And that's the same way how the rulers now think. They don't want us to go. They don't want us to get no reparation, which is really to repair the people. They don't want us to be repaired because us becoming a nation of people messes everything up for everybody. Because now there's a whole nother group of people that have got the majority of the talent in the world, right? That didn't have nothing, and then them getting something all of a sudden out of nowhere. Well, now a lot of the things that they was buying from your industries, they're not going to buy from your industries. They're going to buy it from each other, and they're going to build their own industries that are going to battle with yours. So they're not going to want you to escape out of that. Why would they? That's going to be messing up their profit margins, you know? That's going to mean that they can only own one yacht instead of 10. They don't want that. That's going to mean that their son ain't going to be able to get a Ferrari at 10 years old and just play around with it in their big garden that without a driving license and mess around driving it. And that's going to mean that their little daughter Kate ain't going to be able to be getting £10,000 worth of allowance every single week. They don't want you to have that. So that's how they talk, man. Verse 11. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. So all the witchcraft and all the stuff that they're doing, man, and they've been doing it in every single society, man. When you read about Haman, there were secret councils that they was having about the Israelites. There's a certain people scattered among all the provinces of your kingdom that their ways are completely diverse and against your way. If you let these people build up, they're going to be rebellious against your kingdom. And check the ancient histories on these people, and you'll see that I'm telling the truth. That's how they was coming, man. That's how they was coming with it. That's how they was coming with that kind of stuff, man. But I'm gonna leave it there, man. In every single society, there's always been people that was doing every single one of these heathen society, man. There's always been people that was working left-hand energy, man. And I'm gonna end it like that. Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. Shalom.